We'll show you how to access the Utah Climate Center website and view this data from these weather stations and download it and use it however you need to. So here's our homepage for the Utah Climate Center, and you can find the weather station data in this Climate Data tab under Utah Ag Weather and also under the Maps tab. And then we have these larger icons. Ag Weather is where we find these weather stations. Map Server has access to historical climate data across the country, but the Ag Weather is focused strictly on the UTC Climate Center network. So we'll click on that, and that brings you to this map interface with all of our networks in the UCC network. We have agreement stations, which are part of the Bureau of Land Management Climate Reference Network, all the way down to Fruit Growers Network. And you can go ahead and toggle these on and off to view the map however you like. And we're focusing in on the Ag Weather network here, and so I'll just zoom in on the map here a little bit. And these drop down menus for each network up at the top have the list of every station in each network, and you can go ahead and scroll down and select a station directly from that list. And you can also directly select a station on the map just by hovering over these points and clicking on that way. And so I'm going to go ahead and open up the View Station Data in a new tab, and this will bring up the weather station data from the Forestdale station. So here we have a snapshot of the station current conditions on the left here, and a picture and site data on the right. And you can also click on these tabs here for metric or English units as you desire. And scrolling down a little bit here, we have a visualization of the data. So we have temperature and humidity, wind speed, precipitation, solar. Here's the evapotranspiration calculations and some of the turf soil measurements at 4 and 2 inches. So looking at more closely, you can toggle between the intervals between minute, hourly, and daily. And one of the things on this, you can scroll on the chart and it will show you a display at each data point what the values are. And if it's a little noisy, you can toggle on and off these variables in the legend here and clean it up. If you want to look at max and min temperature strictly, then you can do that, and it'll show you those points a little bit more cleanly. Now if we go over to the wind speed and check out some of the hourly data here, if you want to take a closer look at some of these observations over the last 30 days, you can click on it and drag for as long or as little as you want, and it will zoom in to that segment that you choose, and you can get a closer look at the date and time of these average and peak wind speeds. And once you're done with a particular zoom, if you want to look at a different spot, you can reset the zoom right there, and it'll go back to the 30-day view. And also, you can change the month view here. So for every month that's available for that station, you can select a new month, and it will change the graph view to represent the days for that month. And other options you have here, once you have a view and point, you can print the chart or download a picture of the image. And so here I can choose a JPEG image of this wind speed graph, and here you have a JPEG of that image. And so you can do this for as many as you need for a report or whatnot. And if you need to go further into a complete data set and bring it into a spreadsheet for other calculations, you can download right here. So if you want the first 2 weeks in February, for example, you can choose a start date and an end date, and then select the interval that you would like, either minute, hourly, or daily. So I'm going to go ahead and download the minute data, and this will bring up a CSV file which we can open up in Excel, and here we have all the data that's been downloaded from the data logger for that station over that period of time, and all the variables are there, and so you can take that and sort it and do whatever calculations you desire. And if you're interested in information about what those variables are on the spreadsheet in that output, you can look up this ag weather station information, and that will have a list of all the variables used in each chart for the 15-minute data and an explanation of what they are. And so that'll have it for each, the 15-minute and the hourly and the daily. So there you have all the description for that. And one thing more to show you, here's the quick view data. This is just if you want to, rather than seeing the graph presentation, this will present the data in a tabular format for each interval period, and you can scroll through there back in time and just kind of get a quick view of the data points without the visualization. So that's how you access the station data and download the information from the website.